Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Actually It's a Mirror, where I talk news, celebrity gossip, hot topics, you name it, I talk about it. But please be reminded that all opinions expressed here on this channel are my own and they're allegedly and they're just my opinion. Let's get into it. If you saw the title of this thumbnail, then you know I'm going to be talking about the gross misjustice that Blac China is currently facing. I read a few articles. I've come across all of the accusations, all of the motions, everything that has been dismissed. And I am arriving at the conclusion that Blac China is not getting a fair and impartial trial. It is a gross miscarriage of justice that the two most critical components of the case are being ignored by Judge Alcaron. Not only did he allow Michael Rhodes to give an absurd cross examination of Blac China in which he displayed her nude photos to her to psychologically intimidate, attack, bully, and harass her on the stand. He allowed that to go on, further allowing Blac China to be devastated on the stand, walking out of the courtroom crying after not being able to give a complicit, accurate account of her testimony. I don't know if you guys understand the psychological warfare that is placed on you as a woman when a man who has never been granted permission to see you naked hands you a portfolio of photos showing your body in a manner that you did not authorize. You call it the law, you call it the court, you call it justice. Blac China's body was not up for public scrutiny. This was not a case about her body parts. This was a case about the gross defamation, the coup that was staged, the harassment, the intimidation, the coercion that the Kardashians placed upon the network. It was Blac China's opportunity to face the Kardashians for these allegations and to have them answer for what they could have done wrong to her. Her body was not up for sale. Yet Judge Alcaron allowed for those photos to enter into evidence and to be presented to Blac China on the stand, clouding her testimony. And of the most egregious offenses that occurred in that courtroom was Judge Alcaron dismissing the charges that Kim Kardashian had a hand in defaming Blac China. I want you guys to understand the significance of that dismissal and the ultimate bearing it will have on the jury's decision in this matter. If you guys are unfamiliar with the show, Kim Kardashian is the Kardashians. She started, spearheaded, and gave conceptual intellectual property to the making of that show. The entire empire was built on her back, literally built on her back with Ray J. It was between Kim and her mother were the two most significant, influential people in the empire that is now the Kardashians. Kim Kardashian has a history of demolishing the people in her life that do not fit into the image that she deems acceptable. I will never forget when she looked her own sister, her eldest sister, in the eye, her educated sister, Kourtney Kardashian, in the face and told her on national television that she is the most uninteresting person to look at. This is her own flesh and blood that she dragged to the pit, the pit, the pit of insecurity. She has berated Kourtney time and time again about her work ethic, about her motivation, and about her ability to contribute to the family empire, despite evidence that Kourtney Kardashian is the only, her and Rob are the only Kardashians that have attended college and have graduated. She has started something and she has finished something. But her sister saw no value in the fact that Kourtney cared more about raising her beautiful children than she cared about the empire that her sister was forcing her to build. Kim Kardashian is the case. And so Judge Alcaron's egregious miscarriage of justice, dismissing the defamation that Kim Kardashian put on Blac Chyna, significantly impacts the jury's decision making. It has significantly impaired Blac Chyna's ability to receive significant financial compensation for the wrongs that were done to her. Kim Kardashian built this empire on her back. She is the face of the Kardashians. She is the matriarch of the Kardashians, not Kris. Kris is the momager. Kim is the matriarch. Kim is the decision maker, the influencer, the power mover, the ultimate enterprise. All flows up through Kim Kardashian. And so Judge Alcaron saying that the jury needs to not consider Kim Kardashian's negligence and disrespect against Blac Chyna in their decision making is inconceivable. And I understand Linciani's frustration as she walked into that courtroom giving closing argument and got out and got upset with Michael Rhodes and called him a liar, because he has done everything in his power to bury the important facts of this case. And I'm left to believe and to be questioned about whether or not Judge Alcaron is using his place in the court accurately. I do not know how he has witnessed testimony time and time again in which they have shown that Kim Kardashian sent defaming messages to the E! Network about Blac Chyna beating her brother badly, assaulting her brother. Yet there is absolutely not even one shred of evidence to prove that Blac Chyna detrimentally harmed Robert Kardashian. Not even one shred of evidence can prove that in the court of law. What would compel this judge, to rule to drop all charges against Kim Kardashian for defamation? I feel like Blac Chyna is under attack. I feel like Blac Chyna has not been adequately represented. I feel like Blac Chyna has not gotten her fair shake at the law from the onset of this case. If we really take it back to the beginning, Blac Chyna gave her faith and her fortune to Kris Jenner when she asked her to act as a second mother and to provide her counsel as a financial advisor. When Mr. Mosley, who was Blac Chyna's attorney to help her negotiate her contract for Rob and Chyna, advised her to enter into any form of agreement with E, knowing that he was an executive producer on the show, when he did not recluse himself, the setup had already began. The warfare had already began. Blac Chyna never stood a chance. And I haven't even gotten a verdict, but I can tell you guys the significance of Judge Alcaron dismissing the charges against Kim Kardashian leads me to believe that there is a very high probability that Blac Chyna has already lost this case. Kim Kardashian represents the family. She is the Kardashians. When you think of the Kardashians, who do you think of? You do not think of Kris. You do not think of Kylie Jenner. You do not think of Khloe Kardashian. You think of Kim, the teen bopping mogul who sprawled her excellence off of the back of Paris Hilton and Brandy Norwood. That's who you think of when you think of the Kardashians. So Judge Alcaron's aggressive and egregious decision to dismiss the charges against her is a smack in the face to justice. And for a judge who has built his entire career on ethics, his whole career is built on ethics. He teaches ethics, is built on ethics. He regards himself as a judge who believes that the law is the law and that all parties should act accordingly. I am very disappointed about his most recent decision on the bench. Very disappointed. Very much so. Because the math just does not make sense in this case. It's no way possible Kim was not involved in what happened to Blac Chyna. It is absolutely impossible. The email she sent to the E Network saying that we need to get rid of Blac Chyna, we need to cancel this show, we need to move on, it's us or China, corroborates all of the egregious, disgusting comments made by Kylie and Chris. It compliments all of them. So how does he get on the bench and decide to ignore the facts of the case? How could he go to sleep at night knowing that while he's built his entire career on ethics, his whole career built on ethics, how could he dismiss his own moral ground to harm Blac Chyna? How could he? What's in it for him? Because honestly, at this point, I'm led to believe that there is something in it for him. Because legally, I mean, just looking at the facts of the case, and I would be hard pressed to believe that Judge Alcaron does not know who the Kardashian family is. I'm hard pressed to believe that he does not know the weight and magnitude and influence that Kim Kardashian has over social media, over the press, over perception. He sent a resounding message when he dismissed the charges against Kimberly Kardashian. A resounding message, you guys. And that message was, not on my watch. That was the message I feel he sent. Not on my watch. I will not allow for this woman to prevail in justice on my watch. I will not allow Blac Chyna to make an example of this family on my watch. I will not allow it, because the facts of the case 150% supported that Kim Kardashian was integrally involved in whether or not Blac Chyna got her show renewed. Very involved. You cannot say she wasn't. And by him saying, I'm giving Kim a pass, why does she get a pass? Why does she get to be held above the law? We don't hold Khloe above the law. We don't hold Kylie above the law. We don't hold Chris above the law. We don't hold Kanye above the law. We don't hold China above the law. But we can hold Kimberly Kardashian above the law. She is exempt from her egregious behavior. She is exempt from the disgusting tactics she deployed on Blac Chyna. She is exempt. She is exempt. She is above the law. Above the law. She's not above the law. It's one thing. I don't understand why he needed to dismiss those charges against us. Let the jury decide. Let the jury decide who is responsible for whether or not Blac Chyna deserves damages in this case. Leave it in the hands of the jury. But to strip the jury of that verdict is to absolve Kim of her wrongs. It is to make her exempt of disgust. Why does she get to be above the law? Why does she get to be above the law? Why does she get permission to do this to somebody else? Because whether or not she will or won't, that judge sent a powerful message when he ruled on that motion to omit her.
It was a powerful message sent. And the message is, you can say whatever you want about Chloe, Chris, and Kylie, but Kim, she is exempt. She is above the law. She does not have to account for her wrongs. Let an impartial jury decide. What would it have meant to him to let an impartial jury decide whether or not Kim is wrong or right? A jury of our peers. That is what this entire judicial system is built on. That is why we pay our tax dollars. That is why we buy into the Constitution. Everyone deserves a fair shake with the law, and no one is above it. And the message that was sent was, you can come for everybody, but you will not, you cannot, and you should not feel empowered to come for Kim. She is above reprieve. She is above the law. I don't know very many instances when someone can send a text message to a network saying, if you film with Rob in China, we will not film our show. The Kardashians and Jenners will walk. That is what she said. It is a matter of public record. It is a matter of justice. It's a matter of the legal system. That is what she said. How dare she be removed? How dare she be removed? She was a willful participant in the coup. A willful participant in the coup. Please like the live. She was a willful participant in the coup that was staged against Blac Chyna, and I would argue that she orchestrated the coup against Blac Chyna. I watched old episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians dating back to 2017. I spent my evening yesterday watching old footage. And in that footage, when Rob and China got engaged, they were not happy. In fact, Kylie Jenner said in that dressing room, and I may release these clips on my YouTube later today, because I don't know how the copyright stuff works, so I got to be very careful how I introduce these clips. But I may introduce these clips later today if I figure out this whole copyright situation. But there's a clip of Kylie Jenner literally saying, I wonder who's told her sisters that nobody had better not congratulate Rob and China on their engagement, and that she was sure that somebody would break. I believe it was Kylie who said that. That she didn't want, if they're united front. They're united front. They are a united front. As a matter of fact, I have the clip in my phone. And I may go live again to play this clip for you guys once I chop them up and put my commentary in it. But she literally said, nobody in this room, in the room, it was Kim, it was Chloe, and it was Kylie. And she literally said, and Courtney was there too, I believe. And she literally said, none of y'all had better not congratulate them on their engagement. Oh, it was Chloe who said it. Okay, it was Chloe. I wasn't sure. I thought it was Kylie. It was Chloe. None of y'all had better not congratulate them on their engagement. That was said in a clip. So you want to tell me that they're not a united front, that they don't move as a unit? They move as a unit. A unit. When you move, I move, just like that. You know the song, when I move, you move, just like that. That is the Kardashians. They are a united front. So how dare the judge, and I know I'm just a commentator on the matter, but how do you feel compelled to omit Kim from the united front that she put up? Kim inserted herself into this drama. Blac Chyna didn't implicate her. She inserted herself and got called out about it. How do you remove her? How do you feel comfortable defending the law? And this really goes back. Now, I read a lot of articles about this judge, and it was a lot of poor accounts about his ability to interpret the law. A lot of people said he don't really know what he's doing. He's incompetent. He got there by nepotism, this, and that. There's been a lot of negative press about this judge. But even with that, I was willing to give this man the benefit of the doubt. I really was, because I thought that as somebody who's built his career on ethics and morality and doing what's right, would see that, you know what, even though I may disagree fundamentally with why we're here today, I am impartial enough to allow a jury of our peers to decide whether or not this is valid or invalid. That's all he had to do. I'm not asking this man to give special treatment. I'm not asking this man to jump out the window, to make a move that others wouldn't make. I'm only asking you to do what the law requires you to do, which is to allow justice to be delivered by the jury of our peers. That is our constitutional right. Why doesn't she get that fair shake? Why does Kim get to be above the law? It infuriates me. It infuriates me. Do you understand the vote of confidence it puts into Kim Kardashian as a powerhouse, as a potential narcissist, to be able to go home at night and lay in her bed and say, I am above the law. I am above reprimand. I am above judgment. Because her choices don't even get to be evaluated by the jury. She gets to be above judgment. How does she get to be above judgment? She gets to be upheld like some kind of god or something. She is not a god. She is a human being, flawed just like the rest of us, judged just like the rest of us, human just like the rest of us. We do not get to stage a coup to create a criminal enterprise, an emotionally criminal enterprise, allegedly, and get away with it. And to me it sends a signal to the jury how insignificant the judge feels about Blac Chyna'S case. It's almost as if he's saying, this is frivolous. He removed the queen from the board. He removed the queen from the board. I understand what you're saying, Deborah Hall. He's saying that Lenciani did a poor job and Lenciani is a bad attorney. That's essentially what he's saying. She didn't provide the evidence. But to me, when they got on and gave testimony that Blac Chyna beat her brother to a pulp, which Kim gave testimony of on the stand, that Rob was very puffy and red. That was the testimony that she gave. When she got on the stand and gave that testimony, and they could not provide one shred of evidence as to the harm, bruises, or damages that were actually on Rob, that is defamation of character by definition. That's slander by definition. I'm on live, boo boo. That's by definition slander. So to me, if you can't provide evidence of the allegations of abuse, no evidence, not a mark, not a band-aid. Rob himself testified that he didn't need a band-aid. So you're basically exaggerating testimony. That's defamation. You went to the E! Network and said she beat my brother up, but that never happened because Rob was with Chyn'a on New Year's 2017 eating sushi. Happy New Year from Rob and I. Oh, but she tried to kill him. No, I don't know anybody who almost died who would immediately, who's a guy, gonna immediately be celebrating New Year's, not 2 weeks later, with somebody who tried to kill you after your entire family has gone to your network and tried to get your show canceled and said that this woman is nuts. Then alleged that she was doing drugs, she was on cocaine, she was drinking alcohol, but provided no evidence. According to reports that I showed in my live yesterday, CPS was on the scene the day of that fight that Rob and Chyn'a had. CPS was on the scene. You mean to tell me that Blac Chyna was high off coke and CPS didn't do a drug screen? CPS didn't remove Dream Kardashian from the home? I don't buy it. All of it is exaggerated testimony and slanderous testimony. It's just allegations. It's blatant, disgusting allegations. I'm actually blown away. I'm blown away that he sent that signal to the jury that he thinks the case is frivolous. To me, that's what Judge Alcaron was doing when he removed Kim Kardashian from judgment. He was literally telling the jury that I don't believe in this case because the main person who started the entire series, she is the Kardashians, in my opinion. When you think of the show, you think of Kim first. So if you're saying that the leader of the pack the wolf of the pack, the lead wolf, is not liable, she's not liable. What are you telling the jury in but so many words? You're telling the jury, I don't take this case seriously. You're telling the jury that she's exaggerating. You're telling the jury that the argument wasn't properly made here today. You are basically throwing Lenciani under the bus, and you're basically smacking Blac Chyna in the face. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say Lenciani hasn't had her flaws in this case, because if you've been following my lives, you know that I feel she hasn't been passionate enough. She hasn't been asking the right questions. And if she has, I need to see the transcript. I need to know what's going on behind the scenes, because it's not giving what it was supposed to have gave. So I understand Judge Alcaron when he's trying to say, get your together, girl, to Lenciani. Get it together, boo. You're fumbling here. You are fumbling here. But it's no way as a judge I can sit in this courtroom, hear testimony on both sides, know what they did, because at the end of the day, you are a human being. You may be a judge, but at the end of the day, you are a human being. And it doesn't take anybody, just like what Lenciani said in her closing argument. This is a case about common sense. And if you are a judge, the most important thing you have to deploy in your decision making is the law and common sense. Those are the two things you're making your whole career on: law and common sense. And common sense will lead you to believe that there is no way that Chloe and Kylie could have independently ended the show without the influence and power of Chris and Kim. It is impossible to believe that. What hell with Chris? Chris ain't nothing but the momager with her 10% cut. And yes, she has a lot of power, but who really has the power? Kim kicked this shit off. She jump started this whole thing. It's no way you sat on the bench and believed honestly and authentically that that girl didn't play a role. We can't give her a minor role reduction. You know how in criminal law they be like, we're gonna reduce some points for a minor role reduction. Kim ain't play no minor role. She played a primary role, not no minor. Why is she getting a minor role reduction? I'm super confused. I'm actually upset with Lenciani, because you should have motioned for mistrial after Judge Michael Rose did what he did to Chyna'S with them photos. You should have immediately motioned for a mistrial. You should have been outraged. You should have deployed all the resources from your office to get the mistrial rolling and strolling. I was on board with the mistrial after he pulled that stunt. I don't think we should even be here. You should have motioned for mistrial then. And you also should have put a motion to strike any testimony regarding abuse against Robert Kardashian, when not a single person could produce evidence of said abuse with actual physical evidence. I'm talking bruises, bumps, marks, scratches, any of that. Nobody, not a single soul. All you had was hearsay testimony. Chyna'S violence, hearsay. Objection, hearsay. She's talking about Tiger. Tiger ain't here today. Hearsay. If you can, I don't understand how that was even allowed to be presented as argument to the jury. Imagine me going down to the courthouse right now and being like, I want to tell you guys, my husband beat me. I'm gonna go down there and lie on him, just bold-faced lie, and say he done beat me to a pulp. The police looking dead at me. I don't got no bruises, no black eyes, nothing. But I'm saying he beat me with a metal pole, and I'm expecting the law to write up a police report saying that I was beat with a metal rod when they don't see no one example of said beating. It don't work that way. Yes, I can go to the courthouse and make those claims, but when they come to investigate and they come to interview witnesses and they investigate and they don't see marks or bruises, I'm going to be looking like a whole crazy person, and they're going to be considering as to whether or not I need to be put on a 5150 hold. And I don't understand why Lenciani did not bring all the actual documented mental health issues that Rob Kardashian has as a matter of public record. Why didn't she bring that into testimony? If you are allowed to accuse me of beating on your brother, then I should equally be allowed to defend myself by proving that your brother shows clear and evident signs of possibly being schizophrenic, having borderline personality disorder, having a host of mental health issues. Because Chyna'S had actual text messages of Rob threatening to harm himself via suicide, unalive himself, overdosed. He has been in the hospital 2 times for a diabetic coma because he overate after stress eating and binge eating in an attempt to unalive himself. Actual testimony from Chris and Kim saying Rob won't leave the room. He in a dark place. He don't eat. He gaining weight hand over fist. He don't come to no family events. He has shown clear signs of manic depression. Clear signs of it. But nobody wants to talk about that. We want to omit that, but we can talk about my abuse though. How about the abuse was self-defense? It was self-defense. It was me being sick and tired of him taking advantage of me and violating my boundaries and gaslighting me. It's a mess. The whole thing is a mess. And I don't understand why that wasn't automatically thrown. That should have never been allowed to be presented to the court. I don't know any law system where you can just wildly say that somebody beat you without no proof of said beating. I don't even know. I don't even know any situation how that's possible. And I don't know if it has anything to do with bias against Chyna'S, or maybe her lawyer is just a poor attorney. I don't know. It's some sketch about it. And she said if Chyna'S didn't get to testify, that she would file a mistrial or just play clips when the whole family talks about his mental issues and that they felt bad. Exactly. I played those clips in my live yesterday. Kim Kardashian admitted that Robert Kardashian regularly blames his problems on Blac Chyna'S. I showed that receipt in my live yesterday. He has been scapegoating Blac Chyna'S since the day he met her. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre. And I'm very disappointed. If Lenciani can prove Kim K interfered with that contract and broke any laws, then Chyna'S still has a case for appeal. I definitely think she has a case for appeal, Deborah Hall. Telling E! Network I quit is not breaking the law. No, telling the E! Network that I quit is not breaking the law. But telling the E! Network is either us or Chyna'S, it's coercion. It's intimidation. I mean, honestly, the Kardashians run a corporation. They run a criminal enterprise, not like physically harm, bang, bang, kill people, but the ties that they have to the media, the influence they have over public perception. If I was an attorney, and I'm not an attorney, I would strongly try to make an argument that the influence they have is akin to a mafia. I would make that argument. I really would. They're not. You don't have the violence that I know of. You know, I'm not calling these people violent. I don't know evidence that they have ever unalived anybody. But the influence they have is akin to the influence you would see in a mafia, and that's just me seeing their star power. Look what they did to Kanye in 48 hours. They had him removed from Instagram from one phone call to Zuckerberg. He just deleted. Gone, ghost. Kim Kardashian got a woman free from prison. Kim Kardashian has no ties to the law. How does she have the influence to get someone free from prison? What's wrong, Booba Steve? Okay, I'll take you downstairs. Hold on 1 second, guys. I gotta take my son downstairs. Sorry, you guys, I'm back. I had to take my son downstairs. Okay, so I mean, honestly, to me, the influence is similar to what you would see in a mafia. They are extremely powerful people. Extremely powerful. Extremely powerful. No one can convince me that they're not powerful. Yeah, they may not be out here taking people out like John Gotti and the Godfellas, and but physical warfare. What's the difference between physical warfare and psychological warfare? You can destroy somebody emotionally, spiritually, and financially, which is what they did to Blac Chyna'S. You might as well be dead. You might as well. Imagine not being able to provide for your family, not being able for your daughter can't even use her own name legally because of all the trademarks they filed. Imagine. Imagine the overwhelming burden you put on somebody knowing that they can't walk out into this world and be free and be able to feel comfortable that they did what was right and stood up for themselves and won. It's like invalidating someone's existence and invalidating someone's truth. And that's the ultimate gaslighting. That's ultimate gaslighting. So, I get what you're saying, Deborah Hall. You're right. Saying I quit is definitely not breaking the law. But intimidating your network and trying to stage a coup, I mean, that's interfering, and I do think she will appeal. If she loses, they will appeal for sure, for sure. The judge is blatantly unfair. China has a case and proved that the judge is prejudiced. I'm disappointed in the judge for omitting Kim Kardashian from the case. I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed. I was like blown away. Honestly, what let the jury decide. Let the jury decide. Yeah, let the jury decide. So that's my update on the case today, you guys. I don't have a good feeling. I'm being honest with you guys. I don't have a good feeling about the outcome on this case. I feel strongly that the ruling after what the judge did, omitting Kim Kardashian, I feel very strongly that things may go in favor of the Kardashian Jenners. I do think Blac Chyna'S lawyer will appeal. I hope she gets it to the appellate court and she's able to continue to fight, but I don't feel good about it. I don't. He sent a big signal to the world today or yesterday when he made the ruling about where he stood on this case as a judge. And he said, I don't invalid. he basically said it was invalid. Remember when Blac Chyna and Amber were the it girls and Kylie and Kim wanted what they had? Oh, absolutely. I made plenty of lives about what this is all about. If you look at my live in which the thumbnail, I have Kanye, James Harden, Amber Rose. I broke down everything you just said, kind regards. This is all about Kim Kardashian trying to cross over from being the simple life, trash TV reality star, following in the bootleg footsteps of Paris Hilton, to trying to become a video vixen, a woman with a huge behind, like the black girls really have, and like be a sex symbol and be accepted by the black community. Because Paris Hilton is very famous, but Paris Hilton is not an icon in the black community. Paris Hilton is an icon in the white community, and in her own right. No shade to Paris Hilton. She's very famous and very beautiful. But Kim Kardashian wanted that black dollar. She wanted that black dollar because she couldn't have. She wanted the black dollar and she wanted to cross over bad, in my opinion. And that's why she befriended Blac Chyna. And that's why she wanted to be in on the it girl scene, the stripper scene. She wanted black girls to validate her badunkadunk, her booty, her plastic surgery. She wanted to fit in with the hip hoppers and boom boppers. A mess. Um, yeah, I know they're still deciding. The jury is still deciding on both defamation and content interference against Chris, Chloe, and Kyle. Yes, they are. You're right, Deborah Hall. They are. I'm just really upset that they removed Kim. I mean, I'm infuriated. I just feel like it sends a bad signal to the jury about whether or not he takes the case seriously. And it's all about perception. Sometimes the jury could have been like, I can't believe they did this to this girl. Like, imagine them thinking that in their own minds. And then the judge being like, well, we're dismissing the charges against Kim Kardashian. And the jury being like, wait, did we miss something? Like, if I'm a juror, I'm thinking that. I'm thinking, oh, shoot, did I miss something? Like, maybe it ain't that deep because he done dismissed the charges against Kim. Like, awkward. It's one of two ways. Or the jury could say, this girl is really being taken advantage of because even the judge is corrupt. I don't know the jury. That's why I was saying earlier in one of my other lives, I think it was 2 lives ago, that Linciani needed to hire a body language expert. If it were me and I'm Linciani and I'm unsure about I'm not sure about my jury and whether or not I still have them in my pocket, I would hire a body language expert to get a read on the room. Just come sit in the back of the room and just tell me after what do you think? Are you getting the vibe that they're in our favor? Are they giving awkward body language when we are presenting our testimony? I'd have to do it because I don't know. I would have motioned for a mistrial. There's no way I wouldn't have motioned for a mistrial. No way. I think after Chris Chris made a mockery of the court, bringing up Chris Rock and Will Smith that had nothing to do with this, talking about something. It would be like I smacked the comedian on stage. Like, what are you talking about? This is not a joke. This is somebody's whole life we talking about here. Somebody who lost millions and millions of dollars. This is no laughing matter. There's no time for jokes. You need to be present and ready to work, baby. We are here to talk about something serious. Pete Davidson coming there in khakis and flip-flops. Well, not literally, but I'm talking figuratively. Laughing about the gingerbread house, making jokes, kissing Kim. This is not a mockery. This is not a spectacle. This is a serious case about somebody's whole livelihood. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I don't like it. And the judge, I feel like he should have had a stronghold on his courtroom. He should have said none of that nonsense in here. This is business we talking about. I want to get to the facts of this case, and all of the fluff and nonsense and media coverage and outbursts and drama. You can save that for the next day, because we are not doing that in here. I want everything above board, and I want the facts. That's what I want. And Linciani could have done a better job, especially interrogating them about the critical components of the case. You can't come on this stage and make wild allegations and not account for them. And the fact that Linciani didn't bring a little blow-up dummy to the courtroom and give Rob Kardashian a metal rod and make him strike that dummy and prove just how wild and abusive Chyna'S was, I would have made the jury see how vicious this alleged attack was, and then have him explain how not one bruise was found. It was so vicious. She beat you to a pulp. I would have had the metal rod as an exhibit. I would have said, oh, it was made of steel, aluminum. What was it made of? Let's talk. Let's really get to the meat of it. And let the jury see just how blasphemous his testimony was. And then I would have made him talk about his mental health issues. I don't mean to come for him crazy like that. You know, it's no joking matter that someone has real mental health issues, but you're going to have to account for your mental health issues and your own delusions. Your own judge, your own lawyer, Robert Shapiro, gave legal testimony that you are mentally unwell. So, okay, let's talk about your mental health issues. Have you ever seen a therapist? Do you have delusions? Do you have suicidal ideations? Are you on medication currently? Let's get to the bottom of whether or not the event happened how you said it would happen. Because you and Chyna'S were the only ones there. Everybody else came after the fact. They're only getting testimony from you about what went down. Nobody else was there. Did it happen the way you said it happened? Are you having a psychotic episode? Like, honestly, have you ever seen a therapist? Because according to Blac China, Rob Kardashian has never been to therapy. I showed that receipt in my live yesterday. He's never been to therapy. How are you sitting up here talking about you so battered, so bruised, so traumatized, and so disillusioned, but you never got mental health support? You've been having issues like this since 2015 when you had your first diabetic breakdown, and you've not gotten any mental health support. It's been 7 years, my man. It's been 7 years and you haven't gotten no help. You ain't seen nobody, not one therapist. Are you on active medication? And I heard he was getting smart with Linciani in the courtroom. He was getting smart with her. He was getting agitated and aggressive. If I was Linciani, I would have been like, Mr. Kardashian, please calm down. That just goes to speak to his volatile behavior. Calm down. This is a friendly conversation between two people, between a lawyer and an alleged victim. I want to know the facts. That's all I'm here for. I'm not trying to fight you. Why are you getting so aggressive with me? It's a mess. There's still a chance. And they did. They did. Chris, Chloe, and Kylie absolutely knowingly spread, in my opinion. Let me say, in my opinion, ain't nobody trying to get sued, even though I'm a nobody compared to these people. But I do believe, but I think having Kim be held accountable was a big loss. It was a big loss. Not having Kim not be held accountable was a big loss in court. I feel you, Deborah Hall. You're right, but that was a big miss. I'm just gonna say what a lot of people are thinking. LA sex parties, Kardashian. Oh Lord, I don't know nothing about it. I don't know nothing about it. But you know what? Just a sidebar. This ain't got nothing to do with the Kardashians situation today. But isn't it so weird that this whole situation with Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez happened after they was leaving a party from Kylie Jenner's house? Like, I feel like, how do they just randomly get involved in the most catastrophic things that happen in the Black community? Like, what happened with Travis Scott and Astro World, the Meg the Stallion thing. It's like they just so happen to be at the beginning of everybody's story. Like they just weird. Like you can't have that much bad luck. Like why are you at the beginning of almost everybody's bad luck? Kanye's bad luck with the Beyonce and Jay-Z. Who was it about? Kim. They don't want to be around the kids because of Kim. They at the beginning of everybody's bad luck in their life. The beginning, Tristan Thompson and everything that happened to him and the whole fallout of his life and his cheating scandals. Who was at the beginning of the story? Chloe. Everybody in their life. It all starts with like them doing something sketchy. It's a mess. I don't know. Something about it just don't seem clean in the milk. Kanye survived. Listen, I did a whole live, Bernadette. I did a whole live on that song, breaking down the lyrics. It's the thumbnail where it says destroyed. I did a whole live breaking down the lyrics. Rob had serious problems way before Chyna'S entered the picture. He has been emasculated to the point that he has no identity. And remember when he said he used to think about Kim when he touched himself? I don't recall that. That would have been something that I I omit. I don't recall that. I got to find that clip. But if he really said that, there's deeper issues here. I do recall Chris being in the store with her best friend, one of her best friends. I'm walking around when Rob first got engaged, and the friend was like, "How do you feel?" And Chris was like, she was pissed that he got engaged, and the friend was like, "Are you gonna call him?" And she was like, "No, he ain't call me." Like they were completely against the engagement that of Rob and Blac Chyna, completely against the engagement, and this went on for multiple episodes. They did not support that relationship long before any violence. They did not like it. Chloe wouldn't speak to Chyna. I remember Kim begging Chloe to let Chyna come to her birthday party. Just please, Chloe, let her come. Chloe was like, fine, she can come. Like you never liked this girl from jump. From jump, y'all ain't like her. The mama didn't like her. Nobody liked her. So stop acting like y'all was so rooting for them. Y'all wasn't rooting for them, please. Oh yeah, no, he couldn't stand the show and he did refuse to be on it. He went into a massive depression. And honestly, according to Blac Chyna, he's never gotten professional help. I don't know from his side, but to me, if your son is that mentally unwell and you as a mom haven't gotten him not one stitch of help, I'm looking at you crazy. Like how you a whole mom and don't care about your son living or dying. Like that's awkward. That's awkward. Super awkward. But anywho, thank you guys for checking out the live. I appreciate you guys being here. If you haven't already, please, 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 please like the live on your way out. And I will definitely 150% be back as soon as we get this verdict so I can give you guys my take on what went down. This once again, this is actually a Samir where all opinions expressed here are my own and they're allegedly and just my opinion. Why? Because I don't know these people. I'm just talking like how y'all talking. All right, have a great day, guys, and I'll talk to you guys when there's more breaking news. Bye.